Hi, my name is Carrie, and I'll be working with you as your therapist while you're here. Just wanted to start off this first meeting by thanking you for being here. I know this can be an anxious time and kind of nerve-wracking, and I just want you to know that I appreciate you showing up today. Um, there are a few things that we need to talk about in this first session. That's not typical of the following therapy sessions, but it is something that we need to make sure everybody understands kind of like the roles and responsibilities and how the therapy sessions will be laid out, time frame, everything like that. First off is confidentiality. So anything that is said in sessions with me is completely confidential. The only time the confidentiality would be broken on my part would be if you are a danger to yourself or others. If that's expressed, then I would have to report it, as I am a legal mandated reporter, which could mean, calling 911 or a crisis unit or contacting DCS, depending on what's going on. So that is important for you to understand. Um, Also, informed consent. So some of these sessions might need to be recorded because I am still in school and in training. So you will always be notified prior to make sure that's okay with you, and I'll need your signature. And I'd be happy to answer any questions about that process. As far as counseling goes, um, the goal of counseling is or therapy is to not need it. So every session will be working towards the end goal of you being able to be your own therapist in a sense. And throughout the process, we'll set goals and we'll check in and see where we're at with those. And continue to work until you feel like you're at a place where you don't need therapy anymore, which is the end goal. Um, we would only be working on things that you want to work on, right? You're here voluntarily. So I'm here for you to work on, to talk about things that you want to talk about. And you will be guiding and in control of these sessions and what's important to you. This initial session is not typical of a therapy session. I'm going to be talking a lot more today than I would probably be in a standard therapy session. Sessions generally will last about 50 to 55 minutes just to allow time for documentation in between clients. So just know it's important that you show up on time. So if you show up late, I can't run over late into the next session because I likely would have another client waiting. So things that are expected from you as a client is just to show up on time, to be engaged in the process, um, to voice your concerns, things that are important to you, things you want to work on, and to also speak up if you're unhappy about something here, or maybe things that we're working on. I just ask that you communicate with me if there's an issue. That way we can talk about it and work through it instead of maybe just ignoring it. I do expect that if you have an appointment, you keep it and show up on time. Things come up, so if you do need to cancel, I just ask that it's, 24 hours in advance would be optimal. I do understand that sometimes emergencies come up sooner, so if you just call me at least before the session is supposed to start, just so that I'm not waiting on you, I would really appreciate that. And then as far as time frame, we would need to do an assessment at the next meeting where we could just go over presenting issues, and then you and I together can come up with a treatment plan and some time frames for some of the goals that you'd like to work on. And as we wrap up this initial session, I would just like to ask you what was helpful about today, um, anything that you found useful in this meeting, And then I would wrap up by tying in what the client said was useful into the door opener and say, you found it useful to speak about, different treatment modalities. So next time at the assessment, we will speak more about that, trying to engage the client and get them thinking about topics for the next session. In subsequent therapy sessions, the door opener could possibly be like homework assignments and things like that. But overall, I just would want to thank you again for showing up today, and I look forward to working with you. Thank you.